Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Antoine. Access Granted is in the building, and today I'm going to pull up on one of my favorite people, man, my sister, Erricka Bridgeford. We are here at the Community Mediation Center, where she is the director. We're going to talk a little bit about the work that she does at the Mediation Center. Of course, we're going to touch on some of the stuff that she does around the city and just get a real in-depth behind-the-scenes look at everything that she does, man. So without further ado, Erricka Bridgeford.
All right, so I'm Erricka Bridgeford. This is my office. I'm the executive director at the Baltimore Community Mediation Center. This center has been here for 30 years this year, and we provide free mediation services. So anytime people have conflict about anything with one another, they can use mediation to sit down and talk about it, yell, scream, cuss each other out, say all the real things they want to say. Mediators are trained to run a process where everybody feels heard and help people come up with their own decisions about how to resolve things, how to fix, heal, whatever it is they need to do. I have been involved in this work since I became a volunteer mediator in 2001. In September of 2001, I was getting trained. So when planes were hitting buildings, I was going through mediation training. So that kind of made me feel like that might be a sign that I'm supposed to be doing this. And I started doing it because I'm the oldest of 4 children, and I'm the only girl. And my middle brother got into a conflict with one of our friends in the spring of 2001, and he shot my brother a bunch of times. He was dead on arrival. He survived, but it took a lot for him to survive. So there was a while where we didn't know if he was going to make it. He had to be put in a medically induced coma, all of this stuff. So the job that I had at the time, my boss told me I could use my, paid time off to be at the hospital sometimes and to then be at work, right? So I put in all my paperwork. I had a whole bunch of time because I never used it. And she approved all of it. And then one day when I was leaving to go to the hospital, she said something slick out her mouth. And I was like, what you say? And she was like, I don't like your tone. You're about to be written up for insubordination. I was like, whatever. Do you have something you need to say to me? So she called the mediation and I thought she called them so me and her could have mediation so I could find out what the fuck is wrong with you. Like, I'm in trauma. My brother is dying. Why are you messing with me? So I thought we were really going to talk. But she called them to come give us conflict management training, the whole team, because the team started choosing sides. My coworkers who she supervised started choosing sides, and everybody was on my side because I was right. And so the person who came to do the training, her name is Lori Charkoudian, and she was the person who started this community mediation center. And so in the training, I was being all like, this shit phony, because people don't really want to talk about what's really going on. And so they just making everybody go through training when they the ones who really need to be real. Like, I was just, and at the and at the end of the training, Lori came up to me and was like, you should be a mediator. And I was like, what? And she said it was because of how raw and honest I was, like that I really understood people need to use their voice and say what they really mean. And so she said, yeah, we have a training in September. You get the training for free and you pay for it by, mediating. And so I was like, all right. And so that's how I got involved in this work.
So I have to laugh at that part because I think I've interviewed you like 3 or 4 times and you've never told that story. That is hilarious.
Yes.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
So let me ask a question. Like on average, like data-wise, number-wise, how many people do you think you work with here?
Oh my goodness.
For mediation in just to say a year.
So in a year, So the amount of people we talk to are like just hundreds of people, because people are constantly calling to ask what mediation is. And our case managers, the case management team upstairs, there are 4 of them. When they're listening to people, they use the skills to make people feel heard and understood as they're talking about whatever their issue is on the phone, right? And so then once people hear, okay, and here's what mediation is and here's how it can help you. Sometimes people say, okay, yeah, let me give it a try. And then sometimes people say, well, I feel better now because I just feel heard. And so I might be able to deal with it a little bit easier now. Or they hear it and they go, well, I'm not ready to do that yet, but thank you, I feel so much better, right? So whether things come to the table or not, the amount of people that we talk to and just help to de-escalate them so that they don't just go do whatever is hundreds of people a year. And then I would have to look at the numbers, but I feel like we must have done like around 200 mediations last year.
Wow.
And that's cases. So a case can have as many sessions as people want. A session is 2 hours. So that's just a mediation meeting, right? We call it a session. So 2 hours. And then they can have as many of those 2-hour sessions as they want. And that's what we call a case. So we did about 200 cases last year.
Wow. So what do you say to the person across the street right now and that might be, in a conflict, and they're like literally sitting here looking at the building and they're just like, nah, this ain't gonna work. I'm not gonna waste my time doing that. We need to, because I feel like our people tend to just go from 0 to 100, and we don't think of the consequences. We don't think of the repercussions. We don't think of the effects of our family, the effect it has on the other family and stuff like that. Yeah. So what do you say to that person that's just like, man, I ain't got time for that. We going through the mattresses like now. Yeah.
So first, before I even get to, so we do talk to the boys that's across the street, right? So it's literally boys standing across the street, right? We do talk to them because we hear arguments break out over there, right? And so we'll be like, you can come over here and talk, And so sometimes, and Latrice was really good at doing this when she was deputy director here, just pulling them in to sit down. Not even, okay, you don't want to go to mediation? Come talk real quick, just to bring you down, help you think through like what you're feeling, what you're going through, because that's just very helpful. But before even talking to people about it, it's the mindset that we have of understanding, like you're saying, Black people in particular seem to be more triggered, easily to just escalate, right? And that is, we understand that that's intentional. We understand that there are historic and literally current things that happen to us as a people that impact the brain science, the way that we think, the way that we respond to things. And it is about how we're socialized, but it's also about the oppression that we endure from not being able to get healthy fruits and vegetables, and how that impacts your brain, and then the way that you are able to problem solve and respond to things. When you are constantly stressed about just how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to feed my children? How am I going to, whatever it is, that kind of stress also makes it difficult for you to problem solve and make decisions. And the different kinds of traumas that you endure impacts your brain and makes your brain literally react to things much quicker. So the pause in our brain between when something happens and when we respond to it, that pause shrinks like this, the more trauma you've experienced. And it's not just physical trauma. Blight is a trauma. When people you love are incarcerated, that's a trauma. Like, so many kinds of things are traumas that we just survive through every day. So we understand that a lot people don't even realize why they wish a motherfucker would. Like they don't even realize why that there are biological things inside of them that are impacted by outer things that they are having to survive. And you shouldn't be in survival mode. We're here to thrive. We're here to be joyful. We're here to, love our experience and decide who we want to be. And a lot of times people can't even experience that part of life yet because they just trying to make it. And so, they would go, don't nobody got time for that shit. Like, because they don't understand that it's for them, that peace is for them, that making their own decisions about how to respond to something, like, that is for you. So when they're like, I don't got time for it, I'll be like, but you got time to sit in bookings? Like, do you got time to be on the run? Do you got time for your mother to bury you? Do you got time to be on people's t-shirts? Do you got time for, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's too hot. It's too cold. It's too, like, there's never a good time of year to be sitting in central booking or to be on the run or to be wondering if you about to be next because of what you just popped off on somebody about, And so, and I don't, in the work that I do, not just this work, but, in the peace movement work, engaging with so many people who have shot somebody, who have been shot, who lost people to violence. I have never met a person that, like, nobody is trying to get shot out here. Like, in real life, no, it can all look gangster, in the moment, but boys laying on the ground shot are calling for their mothers and their grandmothers, and nobody really want that for themselves, nobody really want to be in jail. Really, that shit is not fun and easy. You literally fight for your life once you go into jail. And so you can say what you don't have you don't have time to sit down and have a conversation to clear the air, clear up misunderstandings, but you got time for all the impacts of violence. And even killing somebody is not what people think. Like, that's the thing that I love saying out loud. Murder is never what people think it is. Once you kill somebody, you can't unremember that shit. And you can act like, oh, well, that's what that nigga get. You can do it. But when you go to sleep at night, you have to deal with you and your, how that shit really make you feel, that somebody not breathing ever again because of that moment, and how you felt in that moment. And this is why you don't meet too many people who have killed somebody and they sober all the time now. They popping pills, they smoking weed, they drinking all day, because you can't live in a sane, sober mind once you kill somebody, until you take accountability and say, you know what, because I know what I took, let me try to help community. Those people, they end up being some of the community's biggest heroes because they understand what they took. And it still be hard to deal with, right? But murder is never what people think it is. My love of Baltimore. That was really good how you just said it, and my reaction is just like, oh my God.
Because you do so much. This is I'm assuming like the 9 to 5 that,
yes,
pay the bills and keep the lights on, but you
yes,
do so much more with, of course, the Baltimore Peace Movement.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody that you work with,
yeah,
them. But you give a lot of love to this city. And the thing that I love the most about the love that you give is the love that I see you get back.
Oh my God. That just gave me chills. First of all, let's start there. Let's start with one reason I really love Baltimore is because it's the realest shit ever. Like, people be like, Baltimore is not a real place. It seems like it's not a real place because of how fucking real Baltimore really is. So when people are like, oh, it's just crabs in a barrel and people don't support you in Baltimore, I'd be like, y'all must be doing it wrong. If you have the experience that Baltimore does not support you, you might need to look in the mirror a little bit and ask, how have I treated Baltimore? Like, not what was I trying to grind and get for myself, but like in the midst of me doing that, how did I actually treat Baltimore? Because when you are good to Baltimore, when you show up with love, the amount of love that I get from elders to corner boys to trans people to children to, like, it's just, I can't go outside. I can't go to the market. I can't go to the mall. I can't go nowhere in this city on any random day without somebody stopping me to tell me, yo, keep doing what you're doing. Daughter, we really proud of you. Like, when one of my favorite memories ever is I was at a stoplight at Emerson and Pulaski, which happens to be where one of my cousins got killed. And I'm at the stoplight, like processing that shit, like, oh shit, Talil got killed right here. And on my right, a truck full of dudes pull up, and it's, weed smoke coming all out the windows, and they had the music blasting, and I could hear them like getting into a little argument. No, yo, that's not, no, nah. And I realized they was arguing about whether or not I was the ceasefire bitch. That was the conversation. Yo, that's the ceasefire bitch. Yo, that ain't her, yo. It's like, nigga, I fucking swear, yo, watch. And so they said, ain't you, no disrespect, but ain't you that ceasefire? You do that ceasefire shit. And I was like, yeah, that's me. And they was like, oh shit, shorty, keep doing what you doing. We need you out here, shorty. The amount of dudes that stopped me on the street to be like, yo, when I was locked up, I would see you on TV. That shit helped me keep going because I knew people out there really cared about us. Like, you can't fake that kind of love. You can't. So I love Baltimore so much because it literally made, like, I learned what community is growing up on Normount Court, like in low-income housing. That's where I learned what family, what community. If anybody talked about me having one hand, they had to deal with all the niggas in the neighborhood that was gonna beat them up. Like, you couldn't just treat me no kind of way because of how it was. And so when I'm in boardrooms, I don't care where I am, I'm West Baltimore, right? And to be West Baltimore, but I can go over east, I can go down south, I can go, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can go anywhere and be loved, not just respected. Because respect can get you killed if people scared of you or they, you know what I'm saying? But to be respected and loved and honored, that shit is different. And so Baltimore has raised me. It has taught me that I can really be whoever I want to be in the world. It protects me. And so it's a reciprocal relationship. Like, I love Baltimore and it loved me back so much. And I really believe that people in Baltimore, I understand Baltimore's history too, right? So like, Baltimore is the bad bitch city of it really is. Like, when chattel slavery ended and black people was like, oh, we free? Nigga, I'm gonna own a business. I'm gonna be a judge. I'm gonna be a lawyer. We gonna own houses, whole communities. You know what I'm saying? Baltimore black people were different, so different that the system of things targeted it and said, how the fuck? Who they think they are that they just because we said they free, let me show them how free they not. So redlining and segregation and like all kinds of ways to try to beat black people's spirit out of them started in Baltimore. Like, they started doing that shit to us first. But why though? Because of how we were, just by nature. And that's not no shit that I take lightly. Like, really understanding who we are and how we are. Hi! That's my cousin in Kendra. Who we are and how we are. That is not, it is about our grit. Like, people will talk about, oh, Baltimore just got grit, but they see that shit as like something rough and hard. Not understanding that shit is so brilliant that a whole system decided, let's target them for centuries. To this day, there's a president that can't wait to just have our name all in their mouth to say something negative. If you scared of us, just say you scared, yo. Like, if y'all, because that's how I see it. Like, y'all understand how Baltimore really is, and so you have to try to distract us with just constantly beating up on us and telling us we ain't shit and taking resources from us and and yet Baltimore is a place where there's so many nonprofits. Like, if there's an ill in Baltimore, there's at least 4 nonprofits working on just healing that one thing. Baltimore fucking loves itself. I know it doesn't look like it, but when you really pay attention, Baltimore is trying to heal itself, love itself, wrap arms around itself, and fuck everybody else that don't care about us. Like, that's okay, that's fine. We got us. And because that's my mentality, that I hold the vision of Baltimore like, I know who we are created to be. And I hold that vision constant in my head. I don't care how high the murder numbers are. I don't care how it's okay, it's a lot of homelessness. Okay, it's food apartheid. Okay, it's blight. Okay, it's this. Okay, it's that. But I hold the vision constant of who we actually are and who we are created to be. So I see us through love's eyes. You know what I mean? And because I see us through love's eyes, because it's us. It's not like, oh, me, Erricka Bridgeford. Like, I am Baltimore, and Baltimore is me. And Baltimore treats me like that, you know, and it's an amazing. Somebody said to me, like, oh, people be like, oh yeah, you are the mother of Baltimore. Like, I birthed this, I birthed it. What? Oh my God, y'all need to stop. But it's like, I people don't have to invite me into their pain. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit I do, people reach out to me. When somebody get killed that you know, you don't trust nobody. Because your person just got killed. You don't know who was involved. You don't know what people really know that they not telling. You know what I'm saying about what happened to your person. You don't trust nobody. So people reaching out to me and they don't really, for real, they don't know me from a can of paint. And they invite me into the most painful, vulnerable, mistrustful places. And they pull me in close. I don't take that shit lightly. That is and Baltimore people bring you in at that time. It's amazing to me. Yeah, I love this city. And people be like, oh, you know, because I be doing big shit by mistake. I swear, I just be minding my business and end up going to the Emmys or, you know, whatever the shit that be happening. Because I was just being myself in the world. And so people just keep being like, you might, you know, in order to really make it, sometimes you got to leave Baltimore. And I'd be like, or else I can stay right here being who the fuck I am, and all of the abundance is going to come to me. Because I needed to be here for my people. Like, I don't want to leave and go get it and then come back. I need all of us to understand whatever great that happens to me, it happened to us. And we're going to all celebrate it right here where we can all see it and benefit from it. So I'm not going to go off and get it. I'm going to stay here. It's going to come to us. And then I'm going to make sure everybody get it.
And a lot of the people that go elsewhere to get it never end up coming back.
They never, right. They might visit, but they don't come back and be like, all right, I gathered, and now let me come back and build on the foundation of something, right? And really pour back into Baltimore. So to me, it really, yeah. But I can't imagine moving nowhere else. I really can't. All right. So this first thing we're looking at right here, this is the original Baltimore ceasefire banner. So when the first ceasefire weekend was in August of 2017, we had this banner made. And we did a march to Shot Tower. And when we got there, everybody signed it. And so we made that a thing. Like, every ceasefire weekend, we would bring the banner and just have people sign it and put anything they wanted on there that just pour love into Baltimore. Some of my favorite things on here, this says "Ooh Forever." And Ooh had already passed away by the time the ceasefire started. But the energy of Ooh is so alive in the movement because Ogun and I birthed it. And we only know each other because of Ooh. And we were very aware, like, okay, Ooh is so happy that we did this thing together. Yeah, so the mayor is on here somewhere. It was Catherine Pugh at the time. She signed it. And she was really good about, like, not trying to be the focal point, which was really crazy because it was media from all over the world there. And they kept trying to interview her. And she kept going, no, this is about the people. You need to interview the organizers and the people that's here and all of that kind of stuff. So it was just, you know, people put rest in peace to people that they love on here.
Yeah. Val Jenkins.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah. So people, for about a year, we took this to sacred space rituals even sometimes. So when people get killed and we go to the space and bless the space, we would bring it and people would sign it there, you know. So this is like, it's a whole bunch. And we kept saying we were going to get another one made, but we never really did. I think because this one just felt like, it's just iconic type situation. And this here, because this room right here, so this was a thing we made. We had a volunteer appreciation thing, so we made this. But this is our main room, and this is the room where the ceasefire was born. So, Ogun had an idea for there to be one day for where there was a ceasefire. He told me the idea. I said, let's make it 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and let's have people celebrate life. So at first it didn't have a name. I was just calling it a Life Over Death Weekend. And we invited people to come here and hear the idea, and those people named it. It was only like 12 to 15 people here, and they named it. We were sitting here in a circle. So this is the Mediation Center. We do trainings here. So right now, all of these papers you see on the wall is because we're in the midst of a 70-hour mediation training right now. And so there are, we keep the stuff up as we're doing stuff. This is the Lorig tree right here. So Lorig Charkoudian is who started this mediation center. And she's now a state delegate, one of the baddest ones on the plantation. I call Annapolis the plantation. And so this is our, where we honor our volunteers. They get the volunteer of the year will get a leaf on this tree with their name on it. So while you are a staff member, you can't get a leaf. But if you're not on staff, you can be volunteer of the year and get a leaf. So I was on staff here from 2002 to 2005, and I wanted a leaf real bad. So 2006, I think, I worked my ass off, and then I got a leaf. So I'm somewhere on here because I was, 2006.
I got my leaf.
I'm going to need a leaf, yeah. And then in 2020, I became executive director. This tree right here is one of my favorite things. Let me turn the light on. Because, so every year, our AmeriCorps members, when we have AmeriCorps members, they started this thing where every January, they would have a peace vigil honoring everybody who was killed in the previous year. And so they did that for the first year in 2006. But then January of 2007, my brother got killed. And so they renamed the vigil after him. So it's the David Thomas Peace Vigil. And so every year, although they're honoring everybody who got killed, they have activities as a part of the vigil that community can do that are like kind of honor my brother's spirit. And so this is a tree where people were asked to write positive messages for Baltimore on this tree. And so I love that. That's our appreciation wall. That was also one of the, this was just a wonderful thing that volunteers could do, who they wanted to give snaps and sizzles to. So snaps and sizzles are how we appreciate each other in our community mediation world. We snap for stuff when we agree. We sizzle the person if they say something good. So these are snaps and sizzles that people could do. These are just, like closets where we keep shit. There's a kitchen out in there that we need to get some work done on. But this is the 10 points of community mediation. So these are the values that we operate from. And so it is all about making sure we have community members who mediators who reflect Baltimore's diversity, that we're teaching conflict management skills, not just giving mediation, but like actually giving people skills that they need to resolve their own conflicts, that we're getting referrals from all different places. So we have to partner with organizations all over the city so that they can refer people who need it to mediation or conflict coaching. So we have to abide by those. So these are the people who, when somebody has a conflict in these mediation, these are the people they talk to. She's ridiculous. She's ridiculous. And she's ridiculous because she don't work here. She just visited. That's my cousin, but she is a volunteer. So they set up the mediations. So when I was telling you, sometimes people feel so heard that they're like, you know what, I think I can deal. It's because they talk to these people, like they feel so heard and understood. So something wrong with her. So that's Paul Bridgeford, that's Jerry Bridgeford. Their names might sound familiar because they are my children. It's not nepotism, but it is like you. But it is, you have to be involved in this work in order to end up working here. So Paul did a year of AmeriCorps service, and then he was known around the state for mediating so well that the DC Mediation Center tried to poach him during the pandemic. And so I said, if you're going to work at a mediation center, you need to interview in Baltimore, because what? And he interviewed and got the job. I didn't have anything to do with his interview. Then Jerry also did a year of AmeriCorps last year. And she did an amazing job. And we needed a new case manager. And so she was easy to bring on. Lee Tree suggested that Jerry even do an AmeriCorps year. I was scared to ask her because my children always told me growing up they weren't going to be mediators. They weren't doing this work. So imagine my surprise that they end up doing it. This is my mom's desk, and that's my cousin and Kenja, who's a volunteer that came to visit. You can pick out bookmarks.
Oh!
She like, so I wrote a new book, and I made bookmarks to go with it, and she has been waiting for it. This is where Cornell sits. So my mom is the supervisor. Again, I had nothing to do with her being hired. I got trained in 2001 to be a mediator. She got trained in 2002. And then she started working here, and it has been here ever since. So she supervises everybody up here. This is Cornell's desk. Him and my mom are mediating downstairs. So that's why I got in trouble for yelling, because they're in that room across from my office doing the mediation. But he handles all of our referrals that come from court systems. He can do community stuff as well. They all can switch out, but that's mostly what he does. And he came to us because I went into prison and gave a basic mediation training. So a 40-hour training I gave to a group of lifers, and he was in that group, although he wasn't serving life. But after he came home from prison, he reached out because he was looking for a job. So he did 2 years of AmeriCorps and then got hired here as a case manager. And so he's been here. And he does IEP facilitations. Thank you, Rhea. So when kids have special needs and they have those IEP meetings that they have to have, we facilitate those as well. And he handles those and facilitates those cases as well. Yep. That's really it.
Okay, go ahead.
This mural is like a city landmark, really. Like people are like, oh, right, where the mural is. This used to be a Bank of America. It's a church now. But that's the landmark people know. And so this is called, I think some help from a few of our friends, I think is the name of it. But if you notice, it has so people from history, but then there's also an alien on here somewhere. And so the point of this is that we're not alone. It's everybody in history, us in community right now, beings from other, planets or dimensions that are all we're all working together to create what it is we want for ourselves.
Old Memorial Stadium?
Huh? Right. Memorial Stadium. Right. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is the alien. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's people who set examples of who we can be. Yeah, so I love this. A little help from our friends. That's what it's called. Right there. Yeah.
Oh, and it tells everybody on there. Okay, that's
yeah. Yep.
All right. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I pass this all the time, and I don't think I've ever really stopped to
really look at it. Yeah.
All that's on here.
Yep.
And for those that can't figure it out, where are you located?
So this is 3333 Greenmount Avenue, the Baltimore Community Mediation Center.
Oh, the alien.
Yeah, this mural has been here since 96.
Wow.
And this program, the Mediation Center, started in 95. So, yeah, it's been here a long time. Thank you so much.
Access Granted Transportation provides luxury black car services throughout the DMV area. Whether it's a wedding, a funeral, or any kind of special event, as well as travel to and from the airport, the train stations, or whatever it is that you need, Access Granted Transportation has it for you. Our luxury line of vehicles service anywhere from 1 to 11 people, and our contracts and our services are very affordable. So for whatever it is that you need transportation-wise, contact Access Granted at 443-480-7573, and we'll make it happen.
Access Granted Transportation.